It's 12 o'clock, so we'll call this special Board of Education meeting for Piedmont Public Schools to order. Can we get a roll call?
Lane.
Here.
Matt. Absent. Derek. Here. Neil.
Here.
Jared.
Here. All right, moving to we'll skip item 2A and go to 2B. Board to receive bids for $13,245,000 taxable combined purpose building bonds of this school district and take action to award bonds to the lowest bidder. Jordan, welcome.
Excuse me. I appreciate everyone's time. Before we open the bids, a couple of items to go over. Everyone should have a record of bids form if you want to make notes. Behind that, we've provided a board member motion form. That motion form is not required. It's just a cheat sheet. Sometimes our agenda items get a little wordy, so we provide that for assistance. I believe those items are going to correspond with agenda items 2B and 2C. Before we read the bids, we'd estimated about 4.5% on the interest rate. The good news, when we went through our credit rating, everything remained the same, which is great. Everything's shaping up as far as the market is concerned. We've got 5 bids today, which is fantastic. Normally 3 is about average. Anything above that is good. I know we have one local bank bidding as well. That's probably the single biggest influence. So we mail this to about 40 different banks, including your local banks. We also, when we get above about 9 million, we advertise it through an online platform. They actually blast it. I think it's 7,000 bond traders, not different banking institutions, but different people looking at it. So it gets a lot of broadcast. But again, the number one factor is local bank involvement. Normally what happens, those bond traders will pick up the phone and call the local banks, hey, do you want to buy half? I'll buy half. When your local bank steps up and gets involved, rates come down because those bond traders know local bank's going to be aggressive. When your local banks are saying, hey, appreciate the call, we're already bidding with someone else. Now those bond traders know they have competition. And if they want to be in it, they need to sharpen their pencil. Lastly, when you have a situation where local banks say, hey, just appreciate the phone call, we're just not bidding right now for whatever reason. Now those bond traders are trying to sell something that nobody wants. And the only way you can really do that in the interest rate world, you have to raise rates in order to get people to buy. So even if your local banks come in dead last in the bidding process, if they just put their name in the hat, if they just let people know they're bidding and looking at it, you all benefit from it. As long as I can remember, Piedmont has always had really good local bank support, but we have schools all over Oklahoma that don't get any local banks, and we'll see as much as a 2% swing on those interest rates. Credit to local bank as well. On an issue like this, it's what we call non-bank qualified, so it actually has different tax implications to the bank, not to you all. It's still tax exempt from your side of the table, but it makes it a little bit more challenging. So to have that involvement really is a huge, huge advantage. And that's not something that we've done or the banks have done. It's an IRS code issue. It goes back to 1986. So $10 million is that cap. When we go over that, we just simply fall into a different category. So it's a big advantage. I want to make sure you understand how different is it and what we're really seeing. I know here it's normal. It's routine. That's just the way business is done. But that's not the case necessarily statewide, so we want to make sure and communicate that. Before I read through the bids, we also want to know what else is happening around Oklahoma, where are bonds selling. As I mentioned, we estimated about 4.5% on this. A couple of bids that have sold recently. Western Heights, they sold $9 million taxable just on the 16th. They actually had a low bid of 4.90 with bids up to 563. Skytook Public Schools, they had 3.7 million. They were on the 14th. Their low bid was 4.0 with bids up to 4.59. Let me scan here quickly. Collinsville, that was an exempt. Here, Choctaw, Tacoma. This was 23 million, so a little bit larger. They were at 417 with bids up to 4.25. And then Yukon sold 2 million. They were at 4.23. with bids up to 488. That's probably one more here. Noble, they were taxable as well. They were at 4.30 with bids up to 470. So you can see that 4.25 and up. I know the one was a little bit of a flyer at 4%, but 4.25 and up into the 5% range. That's kind of what we've been seeing in the market. So again, our benchmark is 4.5. Market's right in that area as well. And again, we've got 5 bids here. Before I read through the bids, were there any other bids delivered to the school? All right. It is a legal option, so we always want to make sure that we've addressed that before we start reading. For the sake of time and for writer's cramp, I'm going to read all of the details on our low bid, and then I'm just going to read the highlights on the following 4 bids. With our online bidding platform, it goes ahead and ranks them, so I can tell which is low right away. So I'm going to read all of those details, but then the others I'm going to read just a summary on the interest rate, if that's okay. More than happy to go into it, but I don't want everyone sitting here for 20 minutes writing details. So first bid, our low bid actually came from Piper Sandler out of Chicago. Piper Sandler out of Chicago. They have a premium on their bid of $3,708.60. $3,708.60. They have a net interest cost $1,108,871.40. Again, $1,108,871.40 for an average rate of 4.186. 4.186. Our next bid is Cruz and Associates out of Little Rock. Cruz and Associates out of Little Rock. They had a net interest average interest rate on theirs of 4.25. 4.25 on their average interest rate. Our next bid, R.W. Baird out of Milwaukee. R.W. Baird out of Milwaukee. They had an average rate of 4.297. 4.297. Next bid is Northland Securities out of Minneapolis. Northland. They have a bid with an average interest rate of 4.35. 4.35. And our final bid, Bank of Oklahoma along with F&M. Bank of Oklahoma along with F&M, they have an average interest rate of 4.6185. 4.6185. Clearly, all of these, every one of these are below really the most recent taxable sale, Western Heights at 4.90. So they're fantastic bids. Even scanning all the way across, they all fall right in the middle of that bidding range, everything we've been seeing. By law, you have to accept the lowest dollar amount. There is no such thing as a best bid. You either accept the lowest dollar bid or we reject all of them, and we have to resubmit for the process. But it is a good bid by Piper Sandler. I almost said Piper Jaffray. Piper Sandler, excuse me. Fantastic bid by Piper Sandler. Fantastic bid by all of them. We would recommend that you accept that low bid from Piper Sandler. I'd be happy to answer any questions the board might have. All right.
I'm looking for a motion on item B.
I hereby make a motion to accept the low bid of Piper Sandler at an interest rate of 4.186 on the sale of the $13,245,000 taxable combined purpose building funds dated June 1st, 2026.
I'll second.
All right. Motion by Neil, second by Derek. Can we vote?
Lane.
Yes.
Derek, yes. Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes. All right, moving on to item C, discuss and take possible action regarding a resolution providing the issuance of taxable combined purpose building bonds in the sum of $13,245,000 by the school district authorized at an election called and held for such purpose, prescribing form of bonds, providing for registration thereof, designating registrar and paying agent for the issue of bonds, providing for levy of an annual tax for the payment of principal and interest on the same, and fixing other details of issue.
All right, with that big paragraph, basically we have to submit our documents to the Attorney General for legal review. We also have to submit to the district attorney. We have to register bonds with DTC, Secretary of State, and State Department of Ed. Under agenda item number C, you are authorizing us to get those legal approvals in place and to get the bonds properly registered so that in June all of our paperwork is in order. We can actually transfer money.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the issuance of $13,245,000 taxable combined purpose building bonds dated June 1st, 2026, and fixing other details for the issuance of said bonds.
I'll second.
Motion by Lane, second by Neil. Can we vote, please?
Lane.
Yes.
Derek, yes. Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, item 3, adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Neil, second by Derek. Can we vote?
Lane.
Yes.
Derek, yes. Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes. Appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for being
that
here,
was
Derek.
easy.